Hello, 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 Taurus. How are you guys doing today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this from and whenever you're watching it from. My name is Patty, and I am going to be doing your intuitive tarot as well as I do intuitive coaching. It's like counseling with the divine, pretty much. But I am not a counselor. I am a coach, an intuitive empath coach. So let's get started. So Taurus, this is for the 1st through the 6th. Now, just so you know, I'm going to be pulling 2 oracles. One is going to be for this week, and one is going to be for the energies going towards next week. And the other thing is we are just now in a full moon. So the 30th, there's a full moon, but for 3 days, you're going to be able to see that full moon. And then there's going to be energies that are going to be gradually going away. So that first week, because there's an eclipse with it, it's going to be... It's really going to be really unstable, really difficult as far as keeping a clear head. It's going to feel like you're going to sort of have fog brain. Some of you might get emotional. For me, I noticed these last couple of months with the full and new moons, I just become a blubbering mess. I don't know why, but I think the energies are really so strong that it becomes a blubbering mess. Yeah. So that is funny. The cards, I'll tell you here in a second. So we have our first 2 energies out. And the first energy for this week. Now, this is something to read. Just remember for this week, because the next energy is for the going into the between the 6th and the 12th, that kind of week. So we have the first out. Why are we getting this every single time? Who's not paying attention? Who's being narrow-minded over there? Who's being stubborn? Taurus, stop being stubborn. So we have the open or wide open for the number 6. So this is harmony and improvement and development. So this is about, and with the full moon and the eclipse, this is about ourself, our own growth time. So things that we need to look at as far as our weaknesses that we need to grow more on. That would be for especially Taurus, because you're very loyal, you're very driven, but you're also got a stubborn side to you that could hold you back on things that you really need to move forward on. So again, this full moon and eclipse is going to bring some really interesting energies for you guys. For the following energy from the 6th forward, we are looking for, and this could happen in the week, but that's why I'm saying it's more towards the energies towards the next week, is that we've got protecting treasure. 9, 10, 12. We got 3. I'm doing numerology in my head, sorry. So we have protecting treasure, and then it ends up being with number 3, which is acknowledgement. Now, when the this deck oracle talks about treasure, they're talking about your heart, how to protect your heart, how to guard your heart, how to make sure that nobody rains on your parade, but who actually can come in and steal it or do it for their own gain, for their own purpose, their own manipulation, which is not good. So that's why. And if you look at if you not only look at tarot, you also can look at history of any faith or religion based. What is the main thing that they want to protect? The biggest treasure that we have, besides time, is our heart. That's because that's where spirit is. And that's why when I talk about Get Balanced 2020 and teaching mind, spirit, and body, it is all about spirit first. That's why we have to be really protective of that. And not just letting anybody in. If you watched the full moon and eclipse video last night, or if you were with us live, I talked about protecting your energy, because residual energy, you take that in or you give it off. It's sort of a fun. You can watch that. But it is about who you are allowing into your circle. So that energy for the end of the week, really pay attention to who you're allowing into your circle. Do you really need to make some changes in who you're going to allow into your circle? But now let's get back to the wide open. What is it that you need to improve on? What is it that you need to gain more strength and more knowledge in for your future? because I'm going to tell you, if you haven't watched the full moon, it does tell you a lot about not only this full moon, but for the weeks to come. And a lot of it has to do with working on ourselves internally, cutting out the noise, the media, all that stuff out there, and really focusing in like a Virgo, just focus in on what we really need to work on for ourselves. All right. So let's see, Taurus, what we got for the first three energies. Ooh, yeah. Boy, does that go with this, doesn't it? Sort of contradictory. But again, we're talking about weaknesses. It's wide open to what you do. Okay, thank you. So they're also mentioning right now that because the eclipse is going into Gemini, Gemini is all about choices. When the eclipse happens to go into Gemini, we're talking about the choices that we make, how we act, how we speak, how we think, how we want our stuff to be. Gemini is more social media and all that kind of stuff. And this would be in relation to how you're reacting to anything that's happening in the circumstances around you. So you are offered wide open choices at that point in time. But for somebody, and Taurus sort of ends up being a little bit more on the negative side. So this is somebody who has a victim mentality, or it's like, you know what, everything happens to me. Oh my gosh, I can't ever seem to get something right, or, it's never going to happen, or I'm just going to, be here stuck for the rest of my life. It's that mentality that actually the old way of thinking isn't going to help you in the future. And that's the moon and the eclipse. Please go watch that. It's the moon and the eclipse that's telling you old ways are not working anymore. And you have to find new ways, whether it's thinking, your jobs, your relationships, whatever it is, because the times that people think are going to come back after 2020 is finished, wrong. They're not coming back. So things do have to change. Things do have to open up and be more wide in thinking. And I'm not talking about your integrity or your morals. I'm not thinking about that at all. I'm thinking about your mindset. Your mindset for many of the Tauruses and many of the signs is not spirit-based, it's earth-based. And that's where we're getting stuck. And that's where the planets and the alignment and the universe is really struggling to get those vibrations and help get those vibrations up, because everybody's got low vibrations right now. When you stay in Earth, you stay at low vibrations, because with Earth, anything can change like a roller coaster. Whereas if you're in spirit, it's like a nice boop, boop, sort of like your heart rate, boop, boop. But the Earth way is roller coaster. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm depressed. Oh, it's not going right. It's blah, 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 blah. So this is a mindset we have to get out of Earth. A Taurus has to get out of Earth, yes. Also, too, we've got the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands, she's a little flutterbug. And sometimes when we do that, especially with the planets and everything that's going on right now, we don't want to do that. We don't want to be going here and there. And it's not because of COVID. This is because this is a time for Taurus and a lot of the signs to really focus in on inner self, to actually focus in on what is eating at you. What is causing you to be irritable? What is your weakness? What is your red trigger? What is that kind of a thing? This is a time where the little Miss Queen Wands doesn't get to go out and play. She has to stay in and take care of herself. And she's looking at more of the shadow side, the negative things about us, the shadow part. That is sort of the little darker side, the deeper side. Why am I this way? Why do I think that way? Why is what is going on? Again, another card to say that we're working. Yeah, and this is true. So we have the Seven of Pentacles, which, again, I would expect, because with the Seven of Pentacles, it is taking everything that you're doing. Boy, am I getting goosebumps for somebody. This is taking everything that you're doing. You are evaluating and looking at all the hard work. Now, if you just took a baby step, if you just got a little baby step, and you just like, oh yeah, today I didn't think of you know, I didn't think of the word can't, like a negative thing. Oh, I didn't think of that so much today, or not as much. Okay, that's a baby step. That's something that you're going to do. Or if you took one step forward to a fear, so to face that fear, that's one step forward, that's what you're doing. That's what the Seven of Pentacles is all about. So the Seven of Pentacles is about growing your strength, your ambition, your potential, in seeing where you're going to be moving forward to. So these cards really all work together with what the planets are really aligning to, especially the moon and the eclipse, to really begin to focus. Now, the first part of the week is going to be a mess because the energies are all scattered because of the eclipse. So this is something to really maybe just even get yourself a list, write some things down that you really want to work on before the end of the year, because we plant the seed now, because we're now going from the full moon to the new moon. This is a time of abundance. This is a time of dropping the seed so it's now can start to grow. This is a time to get your rewards, time to pull things in. When we're from the new moon to the full moon, that's when we get rid of and purge and get rid of stuff. But right now, this is the time to bring all the positive and those energies in. As if that makes sense to somebody out there. All right, let's see what else Taurus has to offer. For somebody, they are working really, really hard with their job and with their career. It's like, I don't have time. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to think about it. But also there's thank you. So there's somebody working so hard that they're almost a workaholic, that you are doing it to avoid doing your homework on yourself. It's like there's been either too much pain, too much struggle, too much hurt, too much PTSD, whatever it is, you're just not wanting to work on yourself. You're wanting to work. Been there, done that. I used to be a workaholic. Yeah, and that was really, really good way of avoiding everything. It's just like I keep working, keep working. If you can't sit down, you don't have to think, right? So somebody out there needs to sit down and think and duct tape yourself to the chair. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Wands next. Very much so. I can see this. I can see this happening. I wish you could see in my head, because I visualize the moon. I visualize universe. I visualize the eclipse happening. I visualize the energies that are around it. It's like a split-second image, and I can see this all like a movie. It's like a movie, and they're not all the same because I have several energies coming through, or who's giving me the downloads. They're not all the same person, but the thing is, it's like I see these little miniature movies, just boom, boom. So remember, I was telling you about Taurus, working on yourself, right? You have to go inside to do it. You have to take the time, whether it's a half an hour, 2 hours, or if you want to do more, or if you want to get counseling or coaching, whatever helps you to get there, to get rid of that fear. That's the thing, is what we want to get rid of is fear. Once we face fear, we can be really confident in handling pretty much anything. So, but this thing here is where if she stays inside and does her work, the truth will come through of who she really is, what she really wants, or he, of what she really wants and what she is searching for deep, deep down. Just say, well, I'm really not searching for anything. Okay. If you're not searching for anything and you're not moving forward, what are you doing? So the Queen of Swords is about truth. She's very, very good at finding solutions to the truth. That's why sometimes we can't do it on our own. Sometimes people need counseling or coaching, and we can't do it on our own because we don't have the tools and the skills that somebody's been trained to pull it out of us. But this is a time to really search the true and honest you. And if you keep lying to yourself, you're never going to find it. So I don't know who that's for. Stop lying to yourself. Yeah, it's wanting to move. Divine is wanting to move you forward. Now, I bet you I see some really good things coming here because I have a feeling, remember, we're protecting treasure. we're wanting to move forward. For a Taurus out there, there's this, I think this is a feminine energy that is actually looking and trying to move forward with a relationship for a different energy. And she's been working really, she's been working really forward in trying to manipulate a relationship to come her way. This is not going to work. It's like your stubbornness to let somebody go that is really not meant for you. So if they're not reciprocating, if they're not mirroring your actions, if they're not reciprocating in not the way you want them, but you're hearing really the way that they're reciprocating. So maybe you want to hear them, yeah, I really like what you do. But then you hear, oh, I really like you. You got to really be honest in how you are reciprocating and understanding how somebody is talking to you. I don't know who this is for, but this is for a woman, whether it's into a relationship that they're interested in, or really watching over a male figure that really they might want. And you're thinking that this is going to move forward, and maybe it will, but maybe not at the level that you want it to, or maybe not at all, or maybe it's moving at a level that you're not hearing properly. You're not hearing the truth. You're just expecting. Okay, so they're asking me to do this again. So they download. This is something I talk about in Get Balanced 2020. So when women or men go out in dating or any relationship, this is why the earth way of thinking and the vibration way of thinking for the earth does not work. And it's very unstable, put it that way. So this is earth thinking now. So if you go to date somebody and you say they say, well, we're going to possibly go out on a date and I'll call you about 7, right? You heard, I'm going to call you at 7. We're going to go out on a date. That's not what it was said. So you're expecting him to call you at 7. And then, but the reality is he said, possibly call you at 7. The reality is that possible word. So then he doesn't call at 7. And then so it's expectations plus the reality equals you're disappointed. So if you would have understood the facts of everything rather than the fiction, expectation was, oh, he said possible, we might go on a date. Oh, 7 o'clock rolls around. Well, he must not want to go on a date today. He didn't call. The equals, well, oh, well, guess we're not going out on a date. Totally different thinking. That's how you get this to move forward in a relationship, is to understand and hear the truth. So manipulating something is not going to work. So this hard work towards something, let it go. Listen to the truth, or be an active listener. And a lot of people don't know what an active listener is because they just said, explain that. An active listener is somebody who actually takes in the information, hears it, and then repeats it. Oh, did I hear you right that you're going to call me at 7 o'clock? No, I said possibly. Oh, okay, you possibly are going to call me at 7. Bingo, active listening. You got the whole answer right there. You saved yourself a lot of earthly roller coasters, and then you're moving forward. Because you move forward with the dude, or you say, next, because he's not very reliable. I'm a Taurus. I'm reliable. I'm loyal. Okay, does that make sense? That's for somebody. Boy, did that go off on the thing. Thank you, guys. So anyway, get back to these other energies of working on self. And this is also, too, working on self, trying to be better active listener for somebody's weakness. Maybe they're not a good listener. Maybe they're not that. Maybe this is a time for you to actually work on that for yourself. Being an active listener. And if you don't know what that is, man, I took so many communication and psychology classes. If you need help, let me know. So the thing is, though, that this is all about self-work. And the number one thing you're going to need is you're going to need to pull everything that you are strong in and give that confidence to your weaknesses. What do you mean by that? So somebody downloaded. Take your strengths and put them into your weaknesses. So you're just transferring energies to your weakness to become. So if you fear, whatever it is that you fear, you have to build that strength because there's no confidence. It's a weakness. You have to build strength in to face it. Now, if it's taking your big toe and moving it forward, just a big toe thing, you need to do that. If you're going to put, if you're going to move forward, it just says keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Thank you. Okay. So back to the moon and the eclipse, and they just downloaded and said, remind them that this is whatever is you've done in the past no longer works. So whatever you have tried, you're going to have to try something new because it's not going to work. Even for me, as at my age, there's a lot of things I'm stubborn in that I don't want to change, but unfortunately I have to. And I have to think and be more creative in my mind. And especially for me, for work, because I'm used to being a business owner for almost 20 years. And that changed, as far as then I ended up having to go work in the corporate world. Then I had to, then I lost that job because of COVID. So, now I've had to be really creative. And luckily, the divine is on my side. So we have to have the strength in order to move forward for new creative ways. New creative ways. All right. Whew. All right. King of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. We have the King of Pentacles. Oops. What's he got in? What's he in here for? I know we have the Seven of Pentacles and why he's here. Now, why is the King of Pentacles here? Oh, okay. Thank you. So apparently someone's weakness is in finances, budgeting, knowing how to figure all that out. The King of Pentacles says, basically, I think what he's trying to tell someone here is to, maybe have to seek that. If that's your weakness, again, you're going to have to get the strength and that fear to find out how to do that. Which is really interesting because nowadays you young people have everything at your fingertips. You go into your bank, whoever you bank with, and you go on and it'll do your budget, it'll do this, it'll do that. You'll have tools, it'll give you a pie chart, tell you where you're spending too much. That's what this is. This is about somebody's weakness. Mine is paperwork. I really hate doing paperwork for my company, but I know I got to do it, so I have to time management myself, that is. And that may be a time management thing for someone. Even if you're in college, you just got to learn this stuff. You got to learn about finances. King of Pentacles is a wise person about that. So whoever you have around you, maybe a dad, an uncle, a grandpa, or somebody, maybe you know somebody that's a business owner. Ask them how they do it. Do you know that the rich dad, poor dad guy who's now a multimillionaire, his dad was just a teacher and was stuck in the mindset, well, you just need to go to work hard, do this, and make money. And he's like, no, Dad, there's got to be a better way. And he did. He goes, well, go talk to your rich dad, which was just a friend down the street or something like that. And he began to mentor under the rich dad. And he taught him about investing and finances and things like that. That's what this is about. And now the dude's a millionaire, multimillionaire, and an author. And he pushes people to learn more about finances. Japanese guy. Nakamoto? Can't remember. Anyway, look up Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But this is like for that. He went to somebody who knew about doing it. And rather than staying in the old way, that is not going to work anymore. And that's even for my age group. I have to figure ways to invest my money differently because it's not going to work. The old ways are not going to work. Now, this really shifted gears. We have the Three of Swords. So if you remember the Three of Swords In the Waite deck, it's got the heart with the 3 swords through it. Pain. Pain, hurt, struggle, could be a betrayal, could be somebody just not being completely honest, lying to your face, deceitful, you know, that kind of pain where that comes from. And it's between 2 pentacles. Ooh. Okay, remember I was talking about finances. Okay, but this is different energy now. I've got like 4 different energies going on in here. So you guys be patient. You come through one at a time, please. So Pentacles for somebody. Now, if you're older, I feel that this might be an older energies, 30s, 40s, somewhere around there. I'm going to say to you, young people, do not loan money unless you want to say goodbye to it. If you don't have it, don't loan it. If you don't have money, don't loan it. If you're going to loan money, just say goodbye to it, because 99.9% you'll never see it again. Boom. So somebody in this situation really got hurt over a financial situation. Somebody could have had, maybe loaned some money, never got it back. It really hurt the one person, but the other person walked away with what they wanted. Again, another manipulating energy. I don't know where we got that from earlier. You'll have to go back. Just so you know, when divine comes through or these other energies come through, when I'm done with a reading, I don't remember it because it's not for me. These messages are for you, or so whoever is to be watching this, for somebody. Whatever is going to resonate with somebody, always, because it's not for me. So just understand that. So if I say I don't remember where that was, it's not because I'm old. It's because the way that the divine and whoever's coming through downloading works. So somebody did get hurt with money. Somebody did have a situation that they trusted somebody, and that somebody got away with getting all this money and they got to reap the rewards, but the other person suffered. Now I see where all this is coming in. Because then we have the Hermit, which is a Virgo card. And the Hermit's overseen. Now I'm going to say the divine is, this is the divine. This is the divine. I feel like, yeah, I just got goosebumps. The divine is overlooking and seeing it all. So if they did, and trust me, you want to know about vengeance or revenge, and don't do it, because here's the thing. If you want revenge, come and talk to me, because I will tell you story after story after story where I walked away and I wanted to do revenge, but I said, Lord, God, I'm leaving this up to you, because you know what? Your ways are a lot more evil than my ways as far as revenge. And to me, I mean, that's an earthly thing. God's never evil. But the thing is that when years later, and the divine allows me to see how he got revenge on my behalf. It was amazing. It's amazing, because every single time he knew how hurt I was. But if you go to get revenge, don't do it, because his way is even 10 times worse than whatever you could do. Because some of these that I have watched, I'm like, I felt bad for him, because I knew the divine's way was even going to be worse. Some was even a jail time. Yeah. So if this is revenge over money, don't go there. The divine is watching. Let him take care of it. But now you've learned a lesson, so don't do it again. That's all he's saying. You got hurt. Don't do it again. Learn from that lesson. And that's what the next card was, King of Swords. That is the truth of it. That is seeking the truth, the knowledge, and everything like that. So don't let it happen again. If you let it happen again, that's on you. So it's like repeating these cycles, learning these cycles that we have. Wow, I didn't realize I was that far in. I'm so sorry. Usually I try to keep these about 20 minutes, but when the divine comes in, I go. So, but the thing is that this has to happen from a spiritual level. Again, that earthly thinking has to go. In everything that we're doing, this earthly thinking has to go. And it takes spiritual strength to change. it does take spiritual strength to change. And that's what majority of this is, because here we're going to be going into the last part of the week and into the next week. And that's what we're doing, is we're trying to learn new ways to protect our heart, to learn from our lessons so they're not repeated again. All right. Divine, is there anything else for them? For the Tauruses for the week of the 1st through the 6th, please, while I wrap this up. And just know that if you do watch my videos and they're live, when you do watch them, you can pop in and say hello or ask a question. I'd be happy to answer it at the end. So, yeah. Lovers. So now remember, this is the end of the week. Something's going to be maybe happening. Okay, thank you. So they're talking about that relationship that you're trying to force or make go. And the truth, remember the expectations and calling and blah, blah, blah. That kind of a thing. You're making that go. They're just saying that, let me do it and I will bring them to you. Rather than you trying to go to them, just they'll bring that person to you. And I always say they because I've got other people around me. But the thing is, the divine will bring that person to you, because that is the person you're supposed to be connected with, your twin. Now, remember, if this is a twin flame, it doesn't mean that you're to get married. This is just, if you believe in reincarnation, is a twin flame from a past life or a past time that you knew, two energies that knew each other from something before. That's what twin flames are. Two things, or two entities or two energies alike that feel at home with each other. Doesn't mean that you have to marry them. Just means that you guys are close, like brothers and sisters, and, you know, couldn't get much closer, kind of a thing. It's you almost looking in the mirror. That's what twin flames are sort of about. So, Taurus, wow. Woo! I really went off. Sorry. But this is what the divine had me share with you. Remember, protect your heart, protect your heart. Don't just go letting everybody in. And I know you guys are loyal, but I know you guys are stubborn in change. So please, please, please just try to think about one thing you would like to learn and get your strength on, or learn to change and take that baby step by baby step. And you guys are going to be great. So if you haven't already subscribed or like or share, please do so. I appreciate it. And I'm going to still do the 1 minute dailies into December, and then we'll go from there for the new year. See if people really like that. So if you like the dailies, please, I notice people are starting to hit the likes, which is showing me that I should keep doing this. So please do so. I will keep doing readings, of course, but the dailies, they take time, and if there's not a whole lot of interest, then I'm not going to do them. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. Remember, it's going to be scattered energies for until about the 3rd or 4th. Give yourself some time. Don't make any big decisions. If you do, make sure you got a backup plan to get out if that's something that you didn't want to do. All right? Take care, and we'll see you soon. Watch the full moon and the eclipse. You'll be surprised at a lot of things that is going on there. All right. Take care.